Hello there, modern guitar friends. We're back once again with more fingerstyle adventures. In this video, this is going to be a short segment, just kind of talking about a question that gets often brought up in the guitar world and even sometimes in the fingerstyle guitar world. And that is using a capo cheating? And of course, the quick and agile answer is no, of course it isn't. And a while back, I made another video called The Miracles and Sins of Alternate Tunings. That's kind of related to this one. This video is a spin-off of that one. So after this video, I'll leave a link in the description. You can go back and watch that video if you want. While you're at it, if you like this video, please subscribe. All that good stuff. So back to our question, is using a capo cheating? And of course the answer is no. But you have to ask every once in a while, are there certain traps that you can fall into by using a capo that we should probably avoid as players? And the answer is probably yes. But before I get into that, a little history here. The capo has been described the little thing that has made a big difference, and it's hard to argue with that assessment. And starting sometime in the 1700s, the capo was first invented, and it comes from the Italian word capo testo, capo meaning head, testo meaning key or fret. And so it got known as capo for short. But in the 1700s, they had like a kind of a thing where you just kind of clipped on the fretboard, and it was a very simple metal piece, and that was it. By the mid-1800s, there was this luthier from Connecticut named James Ashbourne, I think his name was, and he was the first one to kind of put a patent on the capo with a thumb screw that you could add tension from behind the neck, kind of like a lot of capos today. He kind of made the capo more advanced in that sense. So as as you can probably know, during the 1960s, they had partial capos got more popular and started adding more harmonic possibilities to the palette of players' arsenals. And then the next thing you know, we're off to the races. And capo companies left and right are developing all kinds of stuff that are revolutionizing this little device. So not to get too punny here, P-U-N, but the capo did strike a chord with most musicians in the 20th century. And so there's so many famous players who used a capo, who utilized it for the good and the better of their playing, and that was some of those players like George Harrison, Ry Cooder, Tommy Emmanuel, Eric Clapton, Richard Thompson, Mark Knopfler, players like that, all used a capo. So there's no need to feel guilty about using a capo, obviously, if all these pros are using it. Now, just for a little pushback, it's more tempting than ever to use a capo with fingerstyle guitar because, let's face it, the harmonic possibilities are just simply dazzling and endless. And if you're the kind of player that just needs to use a capo on every song, then great, more power to you. But I think we can all take a bird's eye view of our instruments and challenge ourselves a little bit, and maybe to take the capo off once in a while, not just once in a while, but maybe a lot, and learn to compose music and make the guitar sound harmonically brilliant without using a capo. And that really challenges you as a player. That pushes you to really know your fretboard and make songs sound harmonically interesting without even needing a capo. And another situation you might find yourself in is that there are times where you can't use a capo. Maybe you find yourself in a situation where if you're going to a guitar contest, and that particular guitar contest, the number one rule is you can't use a capo because the judges want to hear what you can do with just a guitar, then you're going to be good for that situation because you know how to play without one. Now, granted, most contests, you're not going to have that problem. Most contests will allow you to use a capo. But up until recently, I think I read or heard where the Winfield competition, the National Fingerpicking Championships, and in the Walnut Valley Festival, in years past, they did not allow you to use a partial capo. I think they do now, but they didn't. They didn't used to. So you never know what you're going to get yourself into there. Plus, I know this sounds crazy, but if you ever find yourself in the scenario where you forget your capo and you have to play a gig without one, then you're prepared to do it. I know that sounds like something that could only happen to an amateur, but it happens to professionals more often than you'd think it does. And if you're the kind of person who only uses a capo on every song, then you're up you know what creek. See what I mean? So I again, is using the capo cheating? The short answer is no. The long answer is much more complicated, depending on what kind of guitar player you are and what you want to accomplish. So that being said, we'll see you later, and that's it for today, folks. Bye bye now.